Well, hello there, everyone. It's Thursday, so that means it's time for a sports Q&A from me, the Schleg Daddy, here on Schleg Daddy TV. Okie dokie, sports and fantasy football questions. Are you ready? Keys 10 asks, is Russell Wilson overrated by the media? To a certain degree, yes. Now that he's won a Super Bowl and he's doing all the commercials, he's viewed as an elite quarterback when he clearly is not. He's a good quarterback. I would say yes, a franchise quarterback, but as I've mentioned before in previous videos, there's a big distinction between being a franchise guy and being an elite guy. And the way the sports media portrays him is as if he is an elite guy, and he is not an elite guy. I assure you of that. Viking fan for life. Travis Kelce or Delaney Walker this week? Well, I think by the time this will get uploaded, I won't be able to answer that question for you. So I hope you put Kelce in the Walker or lineup because I'm not even sure Walker is going to play. If that's the case, hit me back during the next couple of days and let me know what is available maybe on your league's waiver wire. And then he also asked, should I start at flex this week? Brandon LaFell, Andre Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, or Ben Tate? Most certainly not Ben Tate. He got cut by the Browns, and he's with the Vikings now, and God knows that's already a messy backfield as it is. So you got Fitzgerald, Johnson, or LaFell. I probably would. Good luck to you. Maybe Andre Johnson. Maybe. Lex Express, do you think the critiques of Derrick Rose being soft are on point? Do you think the injury scares are psyching him out? I think there's a little something to that. I don't know if I would go so far as to say he's all the way soft, but he seems to present himself as if he has some soft tendencies. So, yeah, I mean, I think some of the criticism and critique of him is fair. I understood when he blew out his one knee why he didn't play at all the entire season. There was no reason to risk it because the Bulls really weren't going anywhere. That I give him. But now into this season where the Bulls really need him because if he could be Derrick Rose, they could win an NBA championship. I'm starting to see some questionable behaviors being exhibited by him. Chris is nice asks, who was a better defender, Scotty or LeBron? It's Scotty, and it's not even fucking close. I was very impressed when LeBron decided to finally take the defensive end seriously, and he became one of the best defensive players in the league. I was impressed by that. I was glad to see it. He understood that there was more than just scoring and passing the ball. He had to play both ends of the floor, and he finally did. But Scottie Pippen was an entire different level of defense, the best perimeter defensive player of my lifetime by far, bar none. Matthew Trimble. Should I start Tony Romo or Phillip Rivers this week? Probably Tony Romo. And then Deshaun Jackson, Roddy White, or Kendall Wright. Maybe Roddy? Alex Shirley 10. Can Marcus Mariota and Jerry Miss Winston in next year's draft be similar to Brady Quinn and Jamarcus Russell in 2007? I can see some of those possibilities. I don't know if I go quite that far, but I could see what you're getting at. And he also asks, do you think Ohio State is the most overrated team in college football? Every year they have the easiest schedule. I don't know. I think sometimes some of the teams in the upper half of the SEC are very overrated because the SEC, somewhat earned, has this reputation of being by far the best football conference in the country. So sometimes that leads to the second tier programs being viewed as much better than what they actually are. So is Ohio State an overrated program? Perhaps. But they're not the only ones. Personally, to me, I think the most overrated team in college football consistently now is Oklahoma. And I don't even think that's close. This is a team that every year is ranked incredibly high. Every year now really disappoints. 35 Robert 16. Worst NBA bust, Hashim Tabit or Greg Oden? Oh, it's Greg Oden. It's not even close. Tabit was a dumb pick at number 2 overall. A lot of people foolishly thought that Greg Oden deserved to be the number 1 overall pick. He was taken ahead of Kevin Durant. That's by far the bigger bust. Period. Troy Sports 1, do you watch college basketball at all? And if so, who's your favorite college basketball team? My favorite college basketball team would be the Illinois Fighting Illini. But at this point in time, do I really watch much in the way of college basketball? No, I do not. It's just the way it is. Let's see here. Kitty's on crack. Who has a chance to make the playoffs The Pelicans or the Suns, and are the Warriors ready to be title contenders? I'm not sure the Warriors are ready to be title contenders just yet. And in terms of who has a better chance to make it to the playoffs, maybe the Suns have more to them. But man, fucking Anthony Davis is a stud. This kid's a stud, like a complete and total stud. The unibrow has become a man and become perhaps the premier big man in the NBA and one of the premier players in all of the damn league. So I kind of like their chances maybe with him carrying them because he's an incredible player. T-Berg, 2, do you think the Bengals can finally perform on primetime games, or is it time to get rid of Dalton and Marvin Lewis? I mean, you think about it, Marvin Lewis has been there for, 12 seasons now? Damn, that's a long time. It's a lot of continuity, but, how many times has they won a playoff game under Marvin Lewis? I mean, at some point in time, you got to move on. If the Bengals don't make a run in the playoffs this year, I could argue that it's time to get rid of Marvin Lewis and then get rid of Dalton as well. Pete for Life 83. Who should I start at running back, Jock Bell or Ryan Matthews? I probably would go with Matthews going against St. Louis and Bell's going up against New England. Matthews is more the primary carrier, so when in doubt, I would say go with Ryan Matthews. Pete for Life 83. Thoughts on the 76ers tanking and rebuilding process? Oh, and what so far this year? I mean, I get the concept of wanting to tank. You're going to suck anyways, and you need to rebuild through the draft, although that's no guarantee of anything. They might be tanking for the sake of tanking, and if you tank too long, it can really hurt you in terms of your ability to go out and get big-name free agents like it did for the Chicago Bulls for many years. What ends up happening is you end up overpaying third-tier guys and giving them second-tier guy money, or you overpay second-tier guys and give them first-tier guy money. So the Bulls did for a number of years. The Ron Mercer deals, the Eddie Robinson deals, and so on and so forth, and Carlos Boozer deals, for example. 76ers will end up in that same boat at some point in time, so I don't particularly agree with it. Let's see here. Ralph Capone, who should I start running back this week? Jonas Gray or Trey Mason? The only thing that causes me a little concern about Jonas Gray is the fact he's going up against a very good Detroit front line, a very good Detroit defense, and his performance last week was almost so fluky that you just wouldn't think that's going to continue. So anyways, thanks for you guys for submitting your questions for this Q&A. I'll be back again this weekend with another solely fantasy football Q&A. I'll see you later.